Today we're going to talk about evaluating algebraic expressions for given values. What exactly is an algebraic expression? Well, it is a group of letters and numbers together. What we're going to do today is look at, what happens when we substitute a given number value in place of the letter. How do we figure out what that's equal to? So let's look at my example below. It says Sarah was trying to convert 50 degrees Fahrenheit into Celsius. She said it was 10 degrees Celsius. Is she correct? How would you check that? Well, below what I just read, you can see there's a formula for converting Fahrenheit to Celsius. It says you take the degrees Fahrenheit minus 32, and that's all in parentheses, and you divide it by 1.8. So if we follow order of operations, we would do what is inside parentheses, and then divide the answer by 1.8. So let's get started. We know we have 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So think about it. Where would that 50 go? Well, because it's Fahrenheit, it would go right in here in place of the letter F. So this is called substitution. It's when you take out the letter and you're going to put something in place of it. So I'm going to put 50 in place of the letter F, because that's what my degrees Fahrenheit is. And now I'm going to go ahead and recopy the rest of my formula. So it's 50 minus 32 and then divided by 1.8. So when I simplify, and according to order of operations, I'm going to simplify the numerator. And 50 minus 32 is in parentheses, so I do that first, and that gives me 18. There's nothing left to do there. My denominator is as simplified as it can be. So I'm going to take 18 divided by 1.8, and that gives me 10. So she said 50 degrees Fahrenheit is 10 degrees Celsius, so is she correct? Yes, she is correct. And again, the way that we checked it is we put the value for Fahrenheit in place of the letter F and then evaluated our expression. So that's what we're going to work on doing today, is putting numbers in for the variables and evaluating the expression. So let's continue. You should have a notes page. And your notes page looks something like this. And to get started, at the top of the page, let's go through some of the terminology. So next to algebraic expression, you can copy this down. You can hit pause at any time, copy this down, and then hit continue when you're ready. And I'll just kind of read it while you're writing now, if you want to hit play. A mathematical phrase made up of numbers and variables is an algebraic expression. So again, numbers and variables together. We're going to use the substitution property to put numbers in place of the letters to evaluate it. The substitution property says if A equals B, then A can be replaced by B in the expression. We're just taking something out and replacing it for something else. So to evaluate an expression, here's what we're going to do. We are going to substitute the variables with the values. And each time we substitute it, we're going to put parentheses around the number. And this is really important. We'll be practicing this in some examples to follow. Then we need to follow our order of operations that we've been practicing to evaluate our expression. What we're going to be doing is you're going to take this notes page and you're going to be taking just this left edge and folding it along this line here and putting glue underneath only this left edge right here and gluing it down on page 27. You'll have time in a little bit, but if you'd like to do it now, you can hit pause and hit play when you are ready. All right, let's continue with some examples. Again, you can just fold along this line right here, and you're going to be gluing this down. But if you want to do the examples first and then glue it in later, that's fine too. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. So we're going to evaluate the expression in number 1, AB squared plus C. And it says A is 2, B is 4, C is 7. So we're going to start off. We're going to substitute those values in place of the letters. We're going to stick each of them in parentheses, and then we're going to follow our order of operations. So those are our 3 steps. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out A and put in 2, B and put in 4, and C and put in 7. And so this is what it looks like if you do that and you put everything in parentheses. Now let's follow order of operations. What would you do first? Well, if you follow PEMDAS, we're going to, if we look at our parentheses, there's nothing to simplify inside of there. So we're going to do the next thing, which is exponents. We're going to take the 4 and we're going to square it. So then the expression becomes this, 2 times 16 plus 7. Now I'm going to multiply 2 times 16 to get 32, and finally 32 plus 7 is 39. So if you want, hit pause, copy that down, and hit play when you are ready. For my next example, number 2, 3x squared minus 4x, I want to evaluate that when x is negative 2. We have to be really careful when we have negatives, and this is where the parentheses are going to help to prevent you from making a mistake. So I'm going to put parentheses every place I see an x, and then in place of those parentheses, or inside of it, I'm going to put in a negative 2. So it will look like this. So notice all I did was take the x's out and put in parentheses a negative 2 in place of that. Now I need to follow my order of operations. So inside my parentheses, there isn't anything to simplify, so I can skip the p part of PEMDAS. But I need to do the e, the exponents. I only have one. I have this negative 2 squared. So I'm going to simplify that. So negative 2 squared, remember, that means, and let me get my pen going here. When you see a negative 2 squared, that means a negative 2 times itself, negative 2. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So that's where the positive 4 comes in from this right here. That's different than if I had a negative sign out in front of my 2 squared when only the 2 was in parentheses. 2 squared is 4, and I would keep the negative sign, so that would be negative 4. But with the negative sign in the parentheses right here, it's included in the squaring, which means I'm taking negative 2 times itself. We're going to be practicing that a lot over the next couple of days. Okay, now I do my multiplying because that comes before my subtracting. So I take 3 times 4 and I get 12. I recopy the subtraction sign, and then I'm going to take the 4 times the negative 2 right here, and that's going to become this, negative 8. Again, multiply before we subtract. Finally, 12 minus a negative 8, remember the 2 negative signs right next to each other become plus signs, so it's 12 plus 8, which is 20. So there's the 2 examples. At the bottom of the page, there are 4 problems that says you try. Would you please right now hit pause, try those 4 problems, and let's see if you can get the right answers. When you're all done, hit play. All right, I'm assuming now that you've tried all 4 of the problems at the bottom of the page. Let's go through it. So again, step number 1, take the variables out, put the numbers in, and put them in parentheses. So for number 3, your first line should look like this. Notice I took the a out and put in 3. I took the b out and put in negative 4. Now I need to do my exponents because there isn't anything to simplify inside of the parentheses. So I do 3 squared, which is 9, and then we have to be careful. We're going to do this negative 4 squared, and that is going to become positive 16 because a negative times a negative is a positive. If you put that in your calculator, you have to put the negative 4 in parentheses. Otherwise, your calculator will give you the wrong answer. So here's the next line. I have 9 times negative 4 minus a positive 16. Again, 3 squared was 9, and negative 4 squared, this whole thing here, became positive 16. Now I need to follow my order of operations. I need to multiply before I subtract, and 9 times negative 4 is negative 36, and then I subtract the 16, and my final answer then is negative 52. That's problem number 3. Problem number 4, again, take out the letters, put in the variables, put them in parentheses, put in the numbers and put them in parentheses, and then follow order of operations. So here's line number 1. I just took out the a and put in 4, and took out the b's and put in negative 7, and that's everything else was recopied. Now I'm going to do my exponents. So I'm going to take 4 squared and make it 16, and negative 7 squared is a positive 49. Again, this right here means negative 7 times negative 7, which is a positive 49. And then 4 squared gave me the 16. Now I follow my order of operations. I have to multiply 16 times negative 7. You could use your calculator for that. That gives you negative 112, and then minus 49, and you can put that into your calculator. That's a negative 161. Problem number 5. Again, I'm going to take the y's out and put in 2, and the x's out and put in -4. And this time there's 2 y's there again. So each place I see a y, I've got to put in a 2 in parentheses. So this is what it looks like when you do this substitution part. Notice my parentheses. Notice how I just had to recopy this subtraction or this negative sign right there. I just recopied it. And then I took my y, I put in the 2 and the squared sign outside. So again, I had to recopy that negative sign because it was not in the parentheses. So I'm going to evaluate my exponents. I'm going to recopy that negative sign again in front. And a 2 squared gives me 4. Let's just kind of verify that. This gives me 4, and I just bring my negative sign down. And then I just recopied this. The next step we're going to have to do is multiply. So I recopy my -4 at the front. I recopy my subtraction sign. And then I multiplied 3 times -4 times positive 2, and that's a -24. And now I know with my 2 negative signs next to each other, that becomes 1 plus. So this becomes -4 plus 24, which is 20. Hopefully you've got 3 out of 3 right so far. And finally, problem number 6. This one's just a little bit trickier because of the fraction, but that's okay because we have calculators. Again, step number 1, substitute the numbers in place of the variables, put them in parentheses. So your first line should look like this. Again, notice what I did is I just recopied that negative sign in the front. Then in place of the y, I put the -12, and I recopied the squared. I recopied the subtraction sign, the 3, and then in place of the x, I put -5,6, and in place of the y, I put -12. Now I follow my order of operations. Again, that minus sign has to be recopied. I just brought it down. And then -12 squared means -12 times -12, which is positive 144. So this again is a little bit tricky. This -12 squared is the 144, and the subtraction sign was just recopied. And then at the end, after this next subtraction sign, I multiplied 3 times the -5,6, and that's -5/2. My next step would be to multiply before I do the subtraction. And -5/2 times -12 is 30. So I have -144 minus 30. So all of this, let me see if I get my pen here. All of this right here is 30. And so the final answer should be -174. So hopefully you got some of those answers right. There's definitely some tricks when you see the negative signs. The key is to, when you substitute, to put parentheses around that number that you're putting in place of the variable. If you need to go back and look any of these over again to rewatch any part of the video, feel free to do that. Otherwise, please continue with your list on the agenda.